With the release of Magic School, we spent a lot of time looking at AI in the classroom, and one thing that Magic School has recently added is the launch to students. So now what you'll see is if you're in Magic School, there's a Magic School tab, but they also have this Magic Student tab. And so this is going to be the tools that are available to students that you can access and you can actually send now to students. And this is a really great way for getting students access to these tools in a safer way that's not, going to really compromise anything. You're not having them go out to something like ChatGPT, and you can do it within the confines of your classroom, and then you can do more of a guided approach to the different tools that are in here and teach students how to use them properly. So when they added this, what the teacher has access to then is from your own dashboard, there's this little launch to students menu item over here. And what that does is you click on that and it brings you to your own dashboard when you're signed in. And in some ways, this kind of reminds me of like when you're setting up a classroom in, say, Google Classroom or something like that. There's some similarities just in terms of getting students in, although it's quite a bit easier and not so cumbersome. There's not so many things going on. It's just more opening up a little room, almost like a chat room style thing, where students can just go in and access tools for themselves. They're not communicating with each other or anything like that. It's just more getting access to these tools that you allow them to. So once you're in the room, the very first thing you do is you're going to click on Launch New Room. And when you do that, it's going to pull up the student tools. And from there, as the instructor, you're going to build out what tools are available. So the first thing is this. It's that you have a set of available tools that are here. These are the current ones that are available as of March 18th. I know that they've made mention that they're going to continue to update this list and add more things. So there will be more things that become available. And we'll just have to kind of see what those are as time goes on here. But let's just say that I want to get a couple tools out to students. Maybe I want to give them the Raina chatbot so they can interact with that, see what that's like to ask some of those questions with prompts. And then to use maybe the writing feedback tool for some writing that they've been working on. And then another one that I really like is this Translate It tool, because when we've gone around and done trainings, we've shown the translation tool as an example for how teachers can use it. But now what's nice is if you're a student and you have access to this tool when the teacher issues it to you, then you can just click the Translate It card and then you can have something translated yourself. And so you have the ability to do that as the student. Now, there's two sections. So I still have my available tools, and then now I have my tools to launch. So this is going to be what's available to students once I launch the room. Okay, so I just go up to my right-hand corner here, click Launch Room, and it's going to show a pop-up here. And what I want to do is I'm just going to rename the room. So I might say English first period. You could leave the date or erase the date, either way. And then we'll just say for ninth grade. And then it just quickly shows the list of what's going to be available to students. So remember, it's not allowing for any of the tools that are not a part of the list that you indicate for this room. So once that's done, I can click Launch Room. And it's going to give me a join link. Now it gives you a QR code too, though that's not going to be necessarily helpful. Typically we're not going to have students using the cell phones in the classroom. So what I would do is if you have a learning management system like Google Classroom or Schoology or something like that, just copy that link and then make it available to them so that they can access it. And what I've done, you could copy that link, or you could give them this link here and have them enter the code. What I've done is I'm going to go over to this other browser and paste in that link that it gave me for this is specific to that room, right? So you can make multiple rooms and then they'll have different links that are for those specific rooms. So the links are not going to be the same. You're not going to get students coming into a room that they're not a part of unless the link is shared with them somehow. So you have your link. This is what the student would do. They would paste that link and then or click on it from your learning management system. And then for here, we can just put in our name. So this is the student side. So we're saying that I'm a student right here, and then I'm going to join the room. And when I join the room, one of the things that I like about this that they do right away is they mention some of the things that we've been talking about as concerns. So you can see there's an emphasis on using Magic School responsibly. One, it points out your teacher can see your activity in Magic School. Extremely important. I'll show that in a second, how you can view that as on the teacher's side. And then you have math answers are not reliable. Interacting with AI takes practice. AI is a tool, not a replacement for your thinking. Monitor for bias and accuracy, which is something that we've talked about a lot. And protecting privacy, which is also very important. So some of these things are right out front, makes it known to the student. It's a good conversation starter for you and your students as well as you're getting into some of these tools, but I like that feature that they have that. So you click accept as the student, and then now you can see that that dashboard of tools is available to me. None of the other tools are, just those that the teacher launched for this specific room. Okay, so now as the student, if I want to click on Raina for students, I choose that, and then I could say, I need some help with my homework. We'll just kind of keep it generic and hit generate. And the reason we're doing this is so that you can see the teacher side of the interactions that occur. So as the student, this is still my side, and then I can read what it says there. Another cool feature, I can click speak.
Of course, I'd be happy to help you with your homework. What do you need assistance with?
Okay, which is great for just accessibility reasons. And then you can also, the student can continue to have a conversation down below, or could do, maybe we need it translated, and let's say we want to translate this into Spanish. We'll hit send, and it's going to translate that for us, and then you still have that speak option too. So this just opens things up for students to be able to interact. Again, you're guiding that process, you're putting the tools in place, and then you're maybe giving some direction on how they're supposed to be using these tools depending on what they are. Okay. So now that we have the student side here, we can go back, and I want us to just flip back to our teacher dashboard, and here you can see the dashboard of our rooms. Now if you were starting back, let's say that you're going back as the teacher and you're just in your general dashboard. If we go to launch to students, it's going to bring us back to our rooms. So those rooms that we create, they get put right here in a list, and then you can actually sort them out by your active rooms, your paused rooms, and your locked rooms, which I'll show you here with this specific room. So if I want to go back into this room, I click that. It's going to bring me in, and then what I can do is I can click view output. And this is going to show the history of that student and what the interactions were. So this is a good way to just monitor the history of your students to make sure that they're using it appropriately. And I can click here, and it just shows what happened between the interaction with Raina and that student, which is a great feature because then you can see that it was being used appropriately. And if I'm done with that, I can delete that thread, and that's complete there. A couple other things to point out. There are some menu items within this specific room. And so you're going to have to set these for each individual room. Now we only have one here currently. If we had more, we might have some that are paused, some that are active, but I click on that and then I can choose for English first period. Do I want to pause that room? Do I want to lock that room? If I pause it, then what happens is if we go back to our student side, I'll just refresh this here. Your teacher has paused the room. So I can see the dashboard, but I can't do anything with the dashboard here. Okay, so I can't do anything with this right now. Now, if I go into, let's go back and let's do lock, same thing, it just looks a little bit different. So rather than being paused and still being able to see the dashboard, I can lock the room, and this is the kind of holding pattern that the student gets put into. So no access whatsoever. I can do this from here. I can also do it in the actions menu over here if I want to do that. Okay, if I want to do like individual students or the ones that are interacting with it, I can do that. So you'll see pause and lock. This one is active for the interactions there. So maybe I just want to pause the one to maybe help the student with something. A couple other things, you can show the join info again from here. You can also do that from here. So either way. And then you can show the tools that are available in this room in case you want to check. Maybe you need to go add one, and you could do that, and then you could check, make sure that it's showing up within your tools there. And then if you're done with the room, you can go ahead and delete it. It does have you just confirm the name. So typically what I've done is I just copy this and I'll click delete, paste that in and click delete room, and then that's done there. Okay, so with that, that's kind of a brief overview of the Magic School options for students, teachers creating those, and the way to get them into the tools and using them effectively and with some guidance. So be sure to look out for more tips on this as time goes forward. Magic tools will continue to expand, and they'll increase the number that are available to teachers and students, and so we'll have updates on that. And you can check our technology integration YouTube channel through SWWC for more information moving forward. Thanks.